Hi, I'm Matt from Little Comets, and we are in discussion with Generator about this festival. Canny mint. I forgot what I was supposed to say, so I winged it. Sorry. Tell us about your artist journey. Wow. Yeah, Little Comets started, who knows, probably when there was 2 zeros in the year. 2007 probably, yeah, about then, 2006 maybe. 2 brothers, Mickey and Rob, so they've known each other since they were born, which makes sense. And I've known them for probably 17 years. Wow. We've ticked off quite a lot of things that we thought that would be cool to tick off, which is nice. Like Leeds and Reading, tick those off, which was nice. Yeah, like traveling abroad with our music, which is super cool. I think to be able to play music for people in different countries is wild. I remember like being stood on stage in New York, like to a sold out room of like 350 or something, 350 people. And it freaked us out, first 3 songs, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then I just got really freaked out and just thought, wow, I'm a lad from Washington. And like, I'm in New York and there's loads of people here to watch us. It was weird. And like Mickey and Rob are from Jarrow. So they're kind of just like sort of small town kind of lads really. And yeah, we're just in New York, just like, this is crazy. If you want more in depth, we're gonna have to have wine out and beers out, and you know, we're here for the night if we want to talk about it all. So Mickey and Rob, the 2 brothers in the band, they now live down just outside of Birmingham, and I'm in Whitley Bay now. But yeah, our roots have always kind of stayed here. If we need to rehearse, we'll rehearse up here, or we'll rehearse down there, whichever. All the gear's kind of stored up in the northeast, so the gear's still Geordie, at least. Although Rob will hate us for saying that because he's a Sunderland fan. There's a lot of things really special about music in the northeast. I think it's not just Newcastle based either. I think a lot of people look at the northeast and just go, right, Newcastle music. I think places like Sunderland get overlooked a lot. Middlesbrough, Stockton as well. You know, I mean, Stockton gets lumped in with Middlesbrough quite often. But there's loads of stuff going on. I think you've just got to go and look for it a little bit. Got venues like Pop Rex over in Sunderland, which, I mean, if you don't know about Pop Rex, then where have you been for the last 9 years? Probably doing it the best I've seen anybody do it for a long time in the northeast. Shout out to Pop Rex being class. Yeah, there's loads going on. I think the fact that there's lots of different music going on in the northeast is really good. I think you've got quite a nice sort of folky scene. Not folky as in the traditional sense of folk music, but like, so Matt Saxon, who's doing the early Purple, there's quite a few bands now that are sort of a similar genre like that, and it's really nice to see that it's not just indie stuff like kicking about. There's a really good hardcore metal scene. If you don't know about that, go and check it out, because there's loads of people just ramming out rooms, playing really heavy music, screaming down a mic, which is awesome. I think we are quite excited to play Generator live, to be honest. It'll be our first gig in like 2 years or something, so it's gonna be either really worrying or it's gonna be like really sort of like exhilarating and just be like, oh, there it is, like we've done a gig again, thankfully. This venue's lovely, in the Boiler Shop. It's just lush. Like, the venue itself makes people listen, which is nice. Yes, it's lush when people jump around and dive about and make loads of noise, and that's class. But it's also really nice when people sort of can take in the surroundings and listen to the music a little bit. There's loads of like local talent. I recently saw Benefits live. They're fantastic. I've been a big fan of Kingsley Chapman for quite a long time. Everything he's done has been pretty poignant, I think, from screaming and shouting and putting a plastic bag on his head to, you know, shorts at every gig, pointing at people and calling them out. It's great. It's absolutely class. I felt the most uncomfortable I've ever been at a gig, and I loved it. It was great. The early Purple, again, like, I can't say enough of how much I love what Matt's doing. Recently saw Imi Williams as well. I think she's called Imogen now. Sorry. Yeah, her set blew us away. It was just It was so good. As a band, as Little Comets, we've known Imogen for quite a while. I have a funny feeling Mickey and Rob taught how to play piano at some point, like back in the day. And also like Elle Devine, I don't know if you, like Liv, man, she used to like just sing at the surf cafe with our guitar, and you could tell our tunes were immense from just her playing and singing. Obviously our voice is great, but our tunes, like, I remember the day that I realised that one of our songs was about trying to tell a girl's dad that she was in love with her. And I was just like, I've just got that song. Wow, that's so clever. Like, it's such a good song. Sam a little bit as well. Those gigs with Liv, like at the surf cafe on his own with a guitar 7 years ago, 8 years ago, probably just made his songs into what they are now a little bit, so he could, you know, do all that sort of stuff. But then to see him play at St James's Park on Friday is just crazy. I think it's really difficult for artists to do a lot of things at the moment, especially. I think things like streaming royalties, really tough to deal with. Unfortunately, it's a necessary evil. I know the MU, the Musicians Union, have got a big campaign for streaming royalties to kind of start to pay properly. I think 0.00007 pence per stream on Spotify or whatever it is absolutely shocking. And if a young band or whatever are looking at that and just going, what's the point in that? Like, I know it's not all about money, but if you want a gig, you want to buy that guitar, you want to buy that mic, you want to buy that sound card. It is, unfortunately. I think it's good that there are, again, like lots of help you can get with that sort of stuff. Social media obviously has its benefits, but I think you do get lost. You get massively lost in social media these days as a new artist. I would hate to start a band now and try and do all of the things that we did 15 years ago. Like, Facebook was really easy to navigate. It's not anymore. The organic reach for posts is just rubbish. You have to pay now to get anywhere on social media. And unless you have some like viral content, which is a really good idea. Try and create viral content. It's soulless, but do it. I think that's really tough for bands and acts to to get through that wall of social media. The payoffs are worth it though. Obviously, if you get over those stumbling blocks and you use social media to your advantage, then the payoffs are great. You can find an amazing fan base. You can get your music out there to thousands, millions of people, you know what I mean? So it is there, but there are just ways to navigate. I don't know how to do it, do you know what I mean? I wish I did. People underestimate the mental health of musicians or like singers or whatever, because they see you on stage and they're like, they're having class crack right now, it's amazing. Yeah, it is. Like, the highs are so high, but the lows are like tremendously low. Even just coming off of a tour, like if we've been on tour for 3 weeks or whatever, yeah, that's class. Like, you're right up here, last gig, proper peaks, it's great. And then all of a sudden, you're like by yourself in your house a day later and you're just like, man, like I should be loading in here, like what's going on? It's really tough. And again, it sounds like, oh, poor me, like, you know, you were touring the country and no, now you've just got to be on your own for a bit. Yeah, it's hard, man, it's really crap. And I think without that creative outlet, you can definitely start to kind of go downhill. Fortunately, there's things you can do about it, obviously. There's a lot of online stuff you can do, and just talking to people's obviously really positive thing. Look after yourself.